Can you make a partial hair system out of the full lace wig? So there is a way to do this, and let me show you how. If you have something like this, which is a full lace wig, it comes like in standard sizes S, M, or L. This is how it would look like. And then you, let's say, have a smaller size that you want to cover. You don't want full coverage. You want something to represent your old hair system. For example, this one was 8 by 10. So let's say you want to transform this one to fit that you need, like the size that you need. So there are several ways that I would approach this. First, if you already have a cast or a mold of your custom unit, the one that you used to wear, then you can easily, that would look something like this, but you can do it anytime you want again. I have a training on this. It's maybe the best way to approach this situation. So you would take that, which is based on your own perimeters, so the width and the length, and then you would put it inside like this, and I would then take white pencil, eye pencil, and dot down like the line just outside of that perimeter to pretty much mark the exact size of the one that you want. You can obviously do this on the headstand if you have one, so you would just take it out like this. You can also do this on your knee. It's a really handy thing to have. Let me show you. I'm using the knee like this. That's just something that's readily available. And then you would put this over it, right? And then you would try to start from the start, so you don't really have, so you utilize the front hairline, which is really the best in the very front, so you don't cut in the hairs there, but try to start from the middle, and then you would just take one by one, just slowly, to mark all the way around. So this one, what you see, is just a bit smaller than what this would allow, because this is not really the biggest one, but technically you would just mark the whole area. And then the most important part which comes is, once you have that area shown, you will then go in, and what you need to do is follow that same line and separate the hairs, really following that line. So you want to make like a parting like that, and then you can even use some sort of a band, like hairband, to just fix it in the middle, so you get that hair that you want out of the way, free, and then everything else just clumped together. So you would ideally end with a top knot, like one ponytail. Then what you will do is really going in with scissors, like small ones, precise ones, and then you will carefully go over that area, trying not to cut across the hairs. So you don't want to chop off the hair. So this is why it's important to just really separate this clearly. So most of the job to get correct would be to just separate this correctly in the first place. So that's the method of doing this off your head using some sort of mold, existing mold. Or you can even assist this with an old unit. So you could use this to kind of translate and just do the outline. The third option is, if you, during the installment or however you do it, to put this on your head and then tape it down just on one spot so it just stays. It's centered in the middle, so you have it like correct from the get-go. And then with that one centered, you would see where your own hair starts and where do you want this one to fill in. So it's like trying like with a puzzle to get in. So you would then just, how I would do it, just tape it first like that, just to have it in one spot. And then what I would do, I would feel where my hair is and where I want this one to kind of come to and where to stop. And then I would just kind of do that same kind of half updo and separate that area that I want on the top. Like once yeah, it's difficult now to show it like this, but if that was just fixed, you would just pull it up, put it in a pony or like a top bun, and then ideally you could check if that is exactly where you want something to start or finish. And then you would have that kind of separation line where you would then take it off and have all those hairs that you don't want out. So you would then follow the same process that I just explained. By having this separated correctly like this, it's much easier to go in without really cutting over the hairs. And what is really helpful is that separation where you go slowly in, and even with this you can remove out of the way as you go, so go slowly and don't really rush in. And always rather go smaller and then expand what you want to cut. So you rather cut too big of a coverage first and then cut more and more if you find somewhere overlapping, than to take out too much in the first go. It's like with the hairdresser, they always cut too much. So that would be how I would approach this. Obviously, if there is something like this here that kind of can stand in the way if you need something smaller. So for example, this one would be ideal for those that have something over this size. So this is how I would approach it. Always be slowly doing this rather than quickly, and take your time, measure twice, cut once.